Water Center. In today's webinar, we are celebrating the launch of our newest publication, Recharge. This publication has been written by members of the Nordic Network on CHARGE Syndrome. And we are so glad that they wrote this publication because it's giving voices to persons living with the syndrome themselves. The publication contains both interviews and case studies. After Frida and Ulrika has talked about the publication, we will have an open round and an open mic for those who want to ask questions. So please, during their presentation, write your questions either in the chat function or the Q&A function on this platform. I hope you enjoy both this webinar and also the publication, which is downloadable at www.nordicwelfare.org. Enjoy.
Welcome to this part of the launch of our publication Recharge. We are two of the members of the network, and we will tell you a bit about the content and why we made this publication. And who are we? I can start. My name is Ulrika Rävenale, and I'm a special needs pedagogue, and I work as an advisor at the National Agency for Special Needs Education and Schools in Sweden. And I've been a part of this network for approximately 1.5 years, and I've been the coordinator for the publication and the bridge between the network and NVC. And who are you?
Well, my name is Frida Racksäter Nerback, and I'm a special needs pedagogue at Mogård in Sweden. My company provides residential homes and workplaces for people with combined disabilities, such as CHARGE syndrome. I am a coordinator for the Nordic Network, and I've been a member for 6 years.
Okay, Frida. Well, since you have been a part of this for so long, what can you tell us about the CHARGE network?
The network has been active for 22 years now, and the countries represented has shifted through the years. And today we are 7 representatives from 4 countries. We are missing a member from Finland, but we hope to gain one this year.
We hope so. But why this publication?
Well, even though there's a lot of knowledge regarding the medical aspects of CHARGE syndrome, there is a lack of case descriptions and interviews telling the story from the perspective of the persons living with the syndrome themselves. This is something that all the networks regarding CHARGE in the world wants to change, and we in the Nordic Network want to be part of that inspiring work. One aim of this publication is to show the diversity of the people living with CHARGE. To give some examples, we have this from the book. Thomas's mother gives a personal account of how it was to learn that her newborn baby had CHARGE. Carl recently got his driver's license and wants to move to the capital to get to know more people who knows sign language. And together with Charlie, Dominic, Anna, Inga, and Linda, they let us into their lives with challenges, personal growth, and development.
Frida, do you think we managed to show the diversity of the group?
Yes, I think we did in a way. We have included family with their baby, school children and young adults, and Anna, who is 38. And we also have individuals in need of different kind of support, from the ones like Carl driving to the ones that lives in residential homes with assistance day and night.
Yeah. And you said one aim was to show the diversity. Are there any other aims?
Well, yes, to use the words from Thomas's mother. At the hospital, as soon as they made the diagnosis, they put Thomas in a category, you know. I don't think that's right, because he's so much more than the syndrome.
This is so true.
Yeah. And living with CHARGE syndrome can entail different aspects and challenges. Often the focus revolves around the medical aspects and less on how individuals can function in their day-to-day lives. And we want to give a voice to a group that seldom is heard and give a positive picture of what life with CHARGE syndrome might look like. Hopefully, parents, legal guardians, relatives, and individuals with charge can find us in this publication. Maybe in the chapter about Dominic. Despite the challenges, Dominic has exceptional talents for numbers, people, and things that interest him.
But how long have you been working on this project?
Oh, since 2019, maybe as early as 2018, longer than planned because changes in the network and the pandemic.
Yeah. And how did you get the idea to write this publication?
I was quite new in the network then, and we discussed how we could spread the knowledge we got from video cases that we did analysis on. The first thought was that we should write articles to the DBI review with case presentations. We did a template for this, and then we got quite carried away. The idea changed into making a book instead, where every case should become a new chapter. We were ambitious and thought that every member could write a chapter each. But then the pandemic came.
What happened then? How did it affect?
Well, at first it became really difficult to work with cases like this. We couldn't follow the persons with charge in the same way. We had to do a lot of work online, and we in the network only met each other online. The network also changed participants rather quickly during the pandemic, which also affected the project. We only had a couple of cases that were finished, so we had to make some new plans.
Frida, tell us more about those new plans you talked about.
Yeah, at our first meeting live after the pandemic, we met with a family that shared their story with us, and we got the idea to mix up the case chapters with interviews to include more of the personal stories behind the syndrome.
Okay, but I wonder, was there any reasons why these particular people were chosen for the publication?
Yeah, we wanted to cover ages from baby to grown up to show the whole life. So we also wanted to do interviews with both parents and where it was possible, the individuals with charge themselves. We also had worked in our cases with adaptations of both social and physical environment that could help the daily life for persons with charge. So we wanted this to be a theme in the whole publication as well. In Anna's chapter, the social support is described like this, for example. For Anna to thrive, she relies on support from people who know her personality, her interests, and who have a good knowledge of her body language and communication methods.
So finally, Frida, do you think we have fulfilled our aims with this publication?
Yeah, I think we have. There are some new stories and voices out there now, and I hope the publication will find an audience.
Yeah. Oh yes, the new publication from the Nordic Welfare Center is online today, actually.
Yeah.
You'll find it on the webpage nordicwelfare.org, and you can read it online or download it for free. It's written by us and other members in the Nordic Network on Charge Syndrome.
Thank you so much, Frida and Ulrika, and the Nordic Network on Charge Syndrome. Thank you for this publication, and thank you for letting us take a part of the voices of persons living with the syndrome themselves. If you want to read this publication, you can download it at www.nordicwelfare.org or use the QR code. From Stockholm, we wish you a pleasant day. Thank you and goodbye.